Hello everybody, my name is Justin and welcome to another episode here on Whiskey Tears. I'm very excited because today I am starting the end of the year Best Bourbon Blinds Tournament. I have narrowed it down to 6 bottles overall. Keep in mind, I've had a limited selection, especially compared to a lot of other YouTubers out there, but out of the bottles I have had this year that were released in 2022, because we did a lot of reviews on ones that weren't necessarily released in 2022, I'm going to do a blinds tournament and determine which one I thought was my favorite. So I have narrowed it down to 6 bottles. We're going to do a few different episodes, bottle versus bottle in every episode until we get down to a final winner. Very excited to do it today. First, before we start the tournament and the first matchup, let's go through these 6 bottles that I have selected to go. The first bottle is the Driftless Glen Single Barrel Cask Strength. This was a Tasters Club pick that I got, really enjoyed it, thought this one definitely deserved to be in there. You guys already know Barrel Bourbon Batch 32 is definitely making it into the end of the year blinds here. We're gonna try that one out. Maybe a little bit of a surprise is this bottle of Old Elk. This is a single barrel that was also released through Tasters Club. I did really enjoy this one. This one did come out in 2022, so it's a kind of a standard Old Elk, but it's a single barrel that came out this year, so it has made it into the end of the year blinds. A recent one I did was the Old Carter Very Small Batch 2 PLDC. This one's gonna make it. Let's see how it goes. I think this next bottle is going to be in a lot of people's end of the year blinds. This is the Calumet Farms 16 year. And last but not least was my highest rated bourbon of the year without doing any blinds. This is Blood Oath Pact 8. So for the first matchup that we're doing here in the end of the year tournament, I decided to kind of base it on where I thought they were ranked or how I ranked them throughout the year. So the first matchup today is gonna kind of be like a 1v6, the favorite overall, in my opinion, coming in the tournament versus the biggest underdog. So the favorite, number 1 being Blood Oath Pact 8, number 6 being the bottle of Old Elk. All right, so we've got the glasses. They are labeled on the bottom with A and B. We're gonna mix them up so I don't know what I'm drinking. We will put the Old Elk in glass A because Blood Oath starts with a B, so that'll be very easy to remember. Okay, those are pretty even in my opinion. So let's cork these bad boys up. All right, so we've got the samples poured. Time to mix them up so I don't know which one is which. Round and round the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey had so much fun, pop goes the weasel. I don't know what's in either glass, well I do, but I don't know which one is which. I wish I wasn't singing, but here we are. Okay, I think we are sufficiently mixed up. I have no idea what's in either glass. I'm not going to look at the bottom until the end after I have picked a winner. So, we will just do it like this. This will be glass number 1. This will be glass number 2. Let's see, glass number 1 on the nose. We got some caramel, a little bit of vanilla in there. Do a little spin job on it. Maybe a little bit of grape. A little bit of barrel char maybe on there. There's something in the background I haven't quite put my finger on yet. I think there's some cinnamon and maybe some floral notes in there as well that I'm getting on the background. So that's glass 1 on the nose, glass 2. Oh, that's appley, that's spicy. A little bit of vanilla in there. Some allspice, some clove. Spin this one up a little bit as well. Some pie, like a cinnamon apple pie almost. Okay, we've got the noses. Cheers, everybody. First round of the end of the year blinds tournament. Good luck to each bottle down the hatch. That's good. Proofy. That's good. You get a nice big shot of caramel up front on this one. Definitely cinnamon in there. Definitely got some cinnamon, some vanilla. Maybe a little bit orangey, a little bit strawberry, something in there, but then it goes real nicely and coats the tongue with caramel, with vanilla, and it lingers nicely. It's still lingering in there. Gives you a little bit of a burn going down the throat, so it's a little bit proofy. Let's compare that though to glass number 2, also down the hatch. That is much different. Much different. Okay. Maybe should have had a drink of water between them to kind of separate them, but that is smooth. Okay. So just like the nose, that's appley, cinnamony. Get a little bit of almost like a flowery, floral taste on it on the background. This one doesn't seem nearly as proofy. It drinks so smooth, gives you a nice soft apple as it goes over the tongue. A little bit of cinnamon, doesn't hit nearly as hard, and it doesn't linger quite as long. Okay, switching back and forth, glass 1 now becomes a little bit more harsh on the front end. It hits you with the spices, but it's like almost like it was a dry baking spice that you can just puffed into your mouth, puffed into your mouth before you ever put it into anything. So a little bit harsher there after drinking glass 2. Yeah, that one's real nice. That one's real smooth. It's like a little bit of butteriness on there, like a real ripe, rich green apple with cinnamon, a little bit of butter in there. Goes real smooth down the palate. Doesn't quite linger as long in the mouth as glass number 1 does, but glass number 1, after going back and forth between the two, definitely is a little bit harsher up front. On the nose, they're a little bit different, but on the palate, they seem to be a lot of bit different. So this is the first time I've ever done a blind battle here on the channel, so bear with me if I suck at it. We're gonna try and get through this first year. But at first, I gotta be honest, at first I thought glass number 1 was going to take it. Then as I started going back and forth between the two, I started thinking glass 2 was better. So because I've been undecided so far, I think I need to nose and taste each one more time before I make my decision here in round 1 of the tournament. That last round of smelling and tasting them really decided it for me. I think I've got a winner now, and it's going to be glass 2. Glass 2, just so much smoother all around. It doesn't have any of the harshness that glass 1 had. It's got some really, really nice flavors of the apple, the cinnamon, kind of like an apple pie that you just baked and cooked, but it's like real fresh, crisp apples in there, and I really like that. It's really good, glass number 2. Glass number 1, don't get me wrong, this wasn't bad at all, but when I went back and forth between the two, it was just that little bit of harshness up front that really separated them. Ooh, yeah, and you get buttery, apple, cinnamon, caramel, vanilla, pie crust on glass 2. So glass 2 is definitely going to be the winner today. But what is in glass 2? I think I know which one it is, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't even drank this bottle in quite some time. But I think if I had to guess, that glass number 2 is the Blood Oath Pack Date, and glass number 1 I think is the Old Elk. So the winner of round 1 here on the end of year blinds tournament is glass number 2, which is, hopefully that's showing on the camera, glass B, which was, yes, B was for the Blood Oath, so I was correct. Glass B, Blood Oath, takes it down. The number 1 seed does in fact survive over the number 6 seed of the Old Elk. I gotta be honest, I really thought upon first sips of these that the Old Elk, or the number 6 seed in this case, glass number 1, was going to take it down, but I think it was because it was so harsh up front, and because I drank that one first, it kind of took a little bit away from glass 2 the first time I drank it. So I think it was good that I went back and forth between them a few times to really be able to compare them. But I think it's a pretty clear runaway winner here in round 1 of the tournament. Glass 2, number B, taking it down. Blood Oath Pact 8 going to move on to the next round over the Old Elk Tasters Club Single Barrel Edition. So that's it for round 1 of the tournament. We'll be back soon with round 2 with the next 2 bottles. Round 3 we'll have the final 2 of the 6 selected for the year. Then we will have another video that's going to have those top 3 bottles, and that will be for the win. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. Stay tuned for who's gonna win the tournament overall, and I'll catch you next time.